Intel allows the fastest clock speed ever on a CPU.
Tesla won't allow you to sleep.
And Nvidia, they might allow us to have faster GPUs again. I really hope they're affordable. Let's get into hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host. We're going to be going over the hottest tech news I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast this Thursday, October 19th, 2023. We got to celebrate your going away party. People thought it was your birthday party for some reason.
It was my birthday. Not really, but it was my birthday.
Hey.
Not really.
How sad are you now?
I'm actually kind of sad.
You're leaving. It was fun.
It was fun. I had a lot of fun there. I got the full American experience.
Well, Overclockers got the full experience of liquid helium. Sorry, that was a really bad segue. But teaming up with Asus and Intel, some extreme overclockers, they've gotten their 14900K to hit world records. So you can see an account of this over on Scatterbencher's channel, which we'll have linked in the video description, but they got it up to 9.1 gigahertz. It's over 9,000 megahertz.
Oh.
Now, one of the crazy things is that they talk about how this took them about a week to do, and they only beat the previous world record by 35 megahertz. But for anybody who knows anything about extreme overclocking, getting that extra 35 megahertz is a big deal. Setting a world record in clock speed frequency is an absolutely monumental achievement, but also, like, the people who, like, I've been seeing so many memes of, like, the 14th gen is just the 13th gen renamed. No, there are changes. There's, like, actual engineering that went into it. Intel's not charging more than the previous gen. They have new feature sets, and it can overclock slightly faster. It just, it seems small, but if it's getting better and they're not charging you more, it's like, the only way you're disappointed is if you wanted more.
I mean, small is the difference between a world record and not.
Hey, do you have a world record? Well, while Reece contemplates whether or not he's actually amazing at something, you should check out today's video sponsor, because they have records. They have awards. If you find yourself too busy for a personal skincare routine, then it's time for you to hear about Geology, who's partnered with us to bring you today's hot news. If you've been around for a while, you know that my hair and my body go through a lot in the past few years, and especially around the time of the cannonball. And as a father of 3 and a business owner, finding the time to focus on self-care is really difficult to come by, which is where Geology comes in. Because Geology is a 26-time award-winning skin, hair, and body care company recognized in places like Men's Health, Ask Men, and plenty of other publications. Geology skincare helps you fight acne, prevent wrinkles, target signs of aging, and more. And it's all built around just a handful of powerful proven ingredients that have been trusted by dermatologists for decades. And it's also people-proven skincare with over 7,000 plus 5-star reviews. People really love Geology. Their vitamin C plus E ferulic serum is a powerful combo that protects your skin against environmental stressors that break down collagen, which makes your skin look aged and dull, and is something that I'm getting more concerned about as I get up there in the numbers. They've also got great smelling body washes that are free of harsh ingredients, and dermatologist tested aluminum-free deodorant with scents like jasmine and clove. And right now, for a limited time, they are hooking you up with an absolutely insane offer. You can use my code, UFDTech70, or scan the QR code on the screen, and they will give you an exclusive 70% off of their award-winning skincare trial set. But there's more. On top of that, they are giving you an additional bonus offer of up to 30% off one of their skin, hair, body add-on products when you add it to your trial. This is one of the best offers you'll see. That means you'll be getting over $49 in products for just $15. You can click the link that's down below, and you can take a 30-second diagnostic quiz, and with a few clicks, you tell them about your skin and your goals, and their team of dermatologists will design a personalized routine just for you that is shipped directly to your door. It's that simple. You can head to the link in the video description or scan the QR code and use code UFDTech70, and that'll get you that 70% off. Big thanks again to Geology for sponsoring today's video. Now, I know I have aged wrinkles, and so does Phil Spencer. Been in the industry for a little while, but in talking about what the plans are for, you know, what's going on with Activision Blizzard and all of that, he said that he's open to potentially revisiting some games that have been in the echoes of the chambers of game developers past, saying, I do think with Game Pass that we have the ability to pick a couple franchises every year and almost do like a revisited version. I just made up that term. When you look across the franchises that are a part of our team, there's an opportunity to go back.
I don't know, sounds made up.
Well, he says he's not keen on cash grabs, because they're actually keen on spending grabs, spending cash spends.
Have spent a lot of cash.
They have, saying, I want to make sure that when we go back and visit something, that we do it with our complete ability, not just create something for financial gain or a PR announcement and not deliver. Additionally, praising things like Quake 2 Remaster. Also, they're already kind of doing that with Fable, going back to that. So they have that in their wheelhouse where they are kind of revisiting some. And my mind immediately leapt to one game franchise that I wanted to see. And then I got disappointed realizing it wasn't actually part of Xbox or Activision. I want Black and White, and it turns out that was Electronic Arts. So
it was so good, though.
I know.
It was so good.
Oh, it would be so good if that got brought back.
Is there any way to still get this game?
No, like licensing issues with like either music or something else happened with it. EA didn't pay somebody to continue to sell it.
I swear I have the actual physical discs somewhere.
Is that why you're going home to South Africa?
Yeah, I have to find the disc.
That's exactly what's happening, and we got to find the deals. Actually, wait, sorry. Before we do that, let us know what game you might want Activision Blizzard to potentially revisit. Do you have one?
No, they're kind of hitting it with Fable for me because I love that series. I love that franchise so much.
I love deals. Yoink!
And hey, deals! Welcome back to UFD Deals, where I'm bringing the hottest tech deals out on the internet. And today we're starting off with the Asus ROG Strix XF120, which is 120mm fans going for $13.99, making them $16 off. You're cutting off that Asus tax there. But then next up we have the AMD Ryzen 5 5600, which is a staple, going for only $134.99, making it $75 off. And then we have InnoCN's 29-inch 2560 by 1080p ultra-wide monitor, 75Hz, going for $199.99, making it $100 off. And then lastly we have a little special deal. And then lastly, we have a special deal thanks to our friends over at Geekom, who provided us with a special 10% off discount code. If you grab their Geekom Mini IT13, specifically the Core i9-3900 32GB RAM version with 2TB SSD, which you can pick up for only $710.10 with included promo code Geekom 20th years, celebrating their 20th anniversary, bringing your total of the already discounted price to $188.90 off. Brett's gonna go look for something. I think he's got something cool.
We got one! We're gonna be doing a video on this very soon. Also, we gave one away on the Cannonball. These are actually really, like, look at how small this is. This is smaller than your face.
It's a nice little tiny boy.
Yeah.
I'm very into...
It's got an SD card reader!
Yeah, I'm very into small computers, so this is a win in my books.
Golly.
And with that, the deals are done. You can find these and more linked in the video description down below, but until next time, I'm handing you back to Brett. Without that, for the rest of your hot news.
I'm gonna keep it. You can't stop me.
Just because I said that. Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do! Well, that's a good deal, Reece. And also, you know what's a bad deal? Misinformation and bad news. So YouTube is looking to combat that, not by sponsoring hot news or anything like that. Instead, they're going to real media outlets because they're presenting a streamlined view of news stories that are happening directly in the feed. They're creating a new home for news viewers to make sure that it's right there front and center. And they're also going to be backing this up with financial grants to various news institutions, as well as specialist support to make sure that they're actually capable of making shorts, capable of making actual YouTube videos, so that trusted media publications that are in various countries can actually hold on to like getting it done, but also having the financial resources to make sure that YouTube's one of their center homes. It's one of the pushes that's been happening across the internet. Facebook's tried to get news sites to publish there. Twitter's trying to do it as well. YouTube's now the latest in media companies trying to get more news on their platform.
I constantly get a South African news feed on my YouTube homepage. Like, it's always permanently there.
Yeah. It'd be great for smaller countries like South Africa.
At least the headlines are how I keep track of mostly what's going on there.
Well, Tesla's going to keep track of you. If you have a Tesla vehicle, they want to see if you're sleeping, you're blinking, you're yawning too much. You too tired? Well, Tesla's now going to have a driver drowsiness warning using the cabin camera, which has just begun to roll out in their European owner manual, saying that it's designed to notify drivers who appear to be drowsy by monitoring driver facial characteristics, as well as driving behavior to determine patterns of indicative of drowsiness. When driver drowsiness is detected, an alert is displayed on the touchscreen in the cards area, and an alert is sounded. You're blinking too much.
Is it going to stop the car eventually?
It's not clear that it does that. It can definitely get that way, especially like with autopilot. If you don't respond to its nags, it'll like pull you off to the side of the road and stop you. It doesn't appear like it actually does anything, and it only works if you're going over 40 miles an hour and if you're not using autopilot, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because the time where I'm going to be the most drowsy is just
when the car's doing everything for you.
And I'm not paying attention no more, and I'm like, hey, you know what? This car's definitely not going to drive 55 miles an hour back into an ambulance. Dead.
Honk shoe.
Honk shoe. Also, it turns off the alert when you drop below 40 miles an hour. It's a weird little feature. I don't know what Tesla's doing, and I don't know what Elon Musk is doing over on Twitter. Actually, I do. I get what he's doing. I just don't like it because they have now announced plans to do the Not a Bot program, which is going to start charging users $1 a year, which isn't a lot of money, to just engage in Twitter at all. So you don't need it to view tweets, but you will need it to engage with tweets in any sort of form or capacity. Now, this is being trialed in New Zealand and in the Philippines, and it's allegedly, according to Elon Musk, the only way to combat bots, compatible with, beat them. That's exactly what they're trying to do. And their head of the program is saying, hey, don't be upset about this. This is not a lot of money. Reece, I want your input on this one. What do you think?
I don't like it, but I'm just seeing more bots on there than I ever have before. So I'm kind of like, if there was a better way to...
But Elon said he was going to defeat the bots.
I know
he knew how to do it very quickly. And then, are you saying since he's acquired it, it got worse?
Yeah.
Are you saying that the people who currently pay for Twitter are the worst users on the platform?
Yes.
Are you potentially indicating that this actually might not solve the problem?
Yes.
Because the lowest quality users are likely the most invested in the platform?
Yes.
Let us know what you think of this $1 a year. It's not a lot of money.
It's not a lot of money.
The money's not the problem. It's the fundamental principle of the fact that I don't know if I necessarily want Twitter to have my payment information, and if they have everybody who uses it payment information, that's just more incentive for it to get hacked. And then they don't actually hold, Elon hasn't shown that he's good with customer data and privacy and actually keeping the site running operationally.
Yeah, it's just I don't want to pay for a service that was free. But I also know that the service it's gone downhill. I'm trying to find a nice way to say this.
You need to pay $1 for the worst version.
Great.
Speaking of, Tesla also tweeting out that they are going to have the Cybertruck available for delivery on November 30th of this year. They will do their first deliveries at Giga Texas, and the Q3 was all right for them. Not great, but they're marching onwards. In case you want to see those non-rendered vehicles out on the road, you just have to wait a few months. And if you're waiting for GPUs over in China, you're probably not watching hot news. But additionally, it's going to get a little worse because new expanded bans on exports from the US to China have now taken effect as of October 17th, indicating that Nvidia is not allowed to sell some of the cut-down chips they designed to be exported. So the A100 and the H100 were their flagship compute chips that they were shipping out, and then when the previous ban took place, they were like, okay, we'll cut them down a little bit, and the A800 and the H800 are for that. Now those are also banned. They're too good to be shipping over to China, and that now also includes the RTX 4090. Nvidia is not allowed to ship any of their flagship products to China, especially as the AI wars are about to pick up and heat up, and it's another move that the US government is trying to do in order to continue for the US to have some sort of compute advantage over China. Is it 4090? They lost the 4090.
Yeah, that feels weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good compute card. It can do a lot in AI.
That's true.
Yeah, it is interesting that a consumer grade GPU is getting banned, but also the 4090 was kind of a Titan class card, so it's like a prosumer thing.
Yeah.
I understand why it's being lumped in.
I definitely get it. It just, it feels weird initially, in my head.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily going to speculate whether or not, the moves politically are a good move, but it is a new step that a consumer card is getting banned. But you want new consumer cards? Maybe they'll be more affordable. Maybe Nvidia will have learned a lesson on pricing their GPUs, especially with AMD being so gosh dang competitive with their 7800 and 7900 XT GPUs. A well-known leaker has come out and indicated that the Super Series should be coming and a date to be determined, but all likelihood points to CES as being a very possible launch time frame for these.
I can see that.
With 3 different super GPUs, the 4070, 4070 Ti, and 4080 Super potentially being the lineup that's going to be coming out. Now, it's likely that the 4080 Super probably going to get close to the 4090, the 4070 Ti Super getting close to the 4080, and the 4070 Super getting close to the 4070 Ti. And as long as those are priced better, if the 4080 Super, it gives you 4090 performance, but it's priced at a 4080 level, then that makes it so that it's competing way better with the 7900X TX.
This gives us a little stopgap if the rumors about the 50 series coming way later.
Yeah, a nice little stopgap, hopefully, potentially alleviating some of the hurt that people have had against Nvidia over the last little bit, especially with the jacks up in pricing.
I'm looking at them.
We'll see. We'll keep you posted. Super series, super interesting.
They haven't done a super for a while.
20 series.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't need to with the 30 series
was about
because of
to
the
say, I
shortage.
feel
Like, there is just like, what are you going to buy? Something else? AMD don't got nothing. Now AMD do got something.
They got something. They got some nice things.
Competition good? We'll see how that plays out, and we'll see how comment response plays out. Unstopped Pablebox saying, as an AMD PDG engineer, I can confirm that 3% improvement is difficult. I don't know what a PDG engineer. I looked up AMD PDG, didn't give me much.
Gave you PDF.
Professional design guru.
That's your official job.
Do you make
title
the
now.
chips? I believe it, and that's one of the things I've talked about this. I'm still not doing as good of a job as I want to be, but I want to celebrate engineering and the people who actually make these things. Like, marketing's one side of things, right? Like, Intel's marketing on the 14th gen honestly hasn't been too boisterous, right? Like, they know it's not a huge improvement, so like, if I'm gonna fight them on anything, I'm gonna fight Intel on the marketing. On the engineering side of things, to get 9 gigahertz on a CPU requires a lot of work by a lot of really smart people, and I don't want to discount that.
I feel like we can appreciate what they do behind the scenes, even if it gets presented to us in a way that people are like, oh, only 3%.
Yeah, it's like the game publishers versus the game dev argument. I think we need more celebration of engineers, of the people who actually make these products. And yes, Intel's business heads might be making some decisions that not everybody agrees with, but by golly.
To engineers.
Then we got Anthony Holmes saying, I think with the 14th gen, if you're building a new PC and want the best, then it's what to buy. But if you're already running 13th, there isn't any reason to spend the money to upgrade. Just my opinion on it. That's been the case
For a while.
For years. For years. Like, talking to actual, like, the PC companies, they know that the average user upgrade cycle is 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
They are aware of that. They're looking at people on the 7700K and saying, hey, 14900K is here for you now. It's been 7 years. Come on and get your goodins.
It's not a TikTok upgrade cycle. It's like people saying, I got a minute. I got a couple of minutes.
But here's the thing. You know what people crap on companies for doing? Marketing to the people who are actually looking at buying. When Nvidia marketed to the 10th gen people that they should upgrade to the 30 series, people mocked them. They're like, ha ha ha, because you can't market to the 20 series people? Right, because they're not the ones who are looking at upgrading. Typically, if you're dropping $2 to $3 grand on a PC, you're not doing that every year.
Unless you're incredibly lucky.
Or you're a YouTuber, right? Like, it's just also luck, you know? But still, Intel knows. Motherboard manufacturers know. Their best people to upgrade to are the people who are sitting on KB Lake, Skylake, and Comet Lake. They're not looking at the people who just bought Raptor Lake last year saying, hey, come buy this. They're saying, hey, if you want the best, this is what we have to offer to the older people.
I really don't think there's a lot of 13th gen users going, oh, shucks.
And it's not designed that way, and Intel didn't market it that way. I think anybody who's like looking for that is kind of falsifying a narrative to some extent, because that's not really what's playing out in the real world.
No, that's my opinion.
That's my opinion. Anthony Holmes, I agree with you, but I also agree, I disagree with the sentiment that anybody should be thinking it's anything but that.
Yeah.
Maddie BBG is saying, if the last deal's handover is not just a massive hug, I will be disappointed. I didn't even think about that. Did you?
I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
We don't hug very often. We will. I don't mind hugging you, but it's not like I don't know.
I got caught on something. It was the BBG baby girl.
Maddie baby girl?
Maddie baby girl.
Ooh. Big baloney grannies.
Somehow worse.
I ruined that. I'm sorry. Speaking of last deals handover, we realized when Reese's flight is next week, and Reece will be here for Tuesday's episode of Hot News as well.
Surprise. It's my last day.
I thought he was like flying out at like 5 a.m. Turns out it's not till the evening. So, whoops. We keep lying to these people.
I know.
I'm sorry. This one was unintentional. Floyd Fisher says, the answer is so simple. Just have 2 separate videos. Brett can do the news on one and Reece can do deals on a separate one. Genius. That's how we film it. That's how we did it.
That's how we did it.
Reece would film the deals. Are you new? You new?
They might. That's fair.
We did get a large influx when TechLinked went down. So
It makes sense.
if you weren't here before the whole Linus situation, yeah, that's how we did it. Reece used to film deals, but you can't do a seamless transition when I'm filming at 3 p.m. my time, Reece is sleeping, and then he wakes up at 9 a.m. his time to film his deals thing, and I'm already sleeping. I don't know how to... We tried to do like asynchronous transitions, and it didn't work.
No, it was difficult.
It was very difficult. Chris Graff saying, I must be odd man out here, but I think the 14th gen is interesting. Higher clocks at a lower power and new world record OC on a 10 nanometer node. It's intriguing.
I like them.
Do you have to buy it? No. But if you were going to spend $600 on a CPU, the 14900K makes a little bit more sense than the 13900K did last week. Just a little bit more. Cheap bastard. Saying, my major gripe with Intel 14th Gen Core is the naming scheme. 14900K should have just been the extra 13990K or something similar. They could have even named the 14700K the 13800K for the extra cores it provided. Calling this the 14th Gen is just dumb. Why? Like that, you just said, hey, Intel should reconfigure their entire naming convention as they've never done it before. Additionally, what do you do with something like the 14400 where they have the 13490 already? But the 14400 is slightly different than that, and
this feels like it would just complicate things.
It feels like you're being pedantic for I don't know, what's the difference with it being 14th gen? They didn't lie. Intel wasn't like, hey, this is revolutionary. They literally called it Raptor Lake Refresh. They were upfront about it the entire time. It's like nothing's hidden here. Why are we all so upset?
Ah!
Good point. I didn't consider that one. Sloan saying, I do wonder why companies don't just keep the same product lineup if they don't have something special and just cut prices. Apple, I'm looking at you charging full price for 2-year-old iMacs. They do cut prices. They do both. They give you the new thing and cut price on the old. Apple is like one of the worst examples for this. Because when the new iPhone comes out, they keep the last 3 generations at a price decrease.
Yeah.
If you wanted to get an iPhone, they dropped the 13 mini because nobody was buying it. But if you wanted to get an iPhone 13 right now, this is the cheapest time to buy it directly from Apple. They do both. What? Why can't? What? Timothy saying, they only have the service people watch because that is where the people are. If you did both and advertise you are doing both in your videos, people will start watching you over there. Especially the people that will be using the new app that Louis Rossmann is releasing that lets you subscribe to a person on all platforms, not just one at a time, and can see it all in one app. He's talking about BitChute and Rumble. The problem with those platforms, I'm not going to bring anybody. People watch us out of convenience here on YouTube. As soon as I stop being conveniently the morning news guy, people stop watching.
Yeah, I feel like this is just extra steps, and extra steps in anything just makes me go...
The average consumer, which is kind of what you need if you want to run a business on social media, does not want that extra point of contention.
No.
It's just not going to work. Dan Sim saying, question for Reece. When you go home, what do you think you'll miss most about the US? Other than the boys, of course.
Easy. Baja Blast.
Really?
Freaking love that stuff, man.
Yeah?
My friend from New York has actually taught me a recipe that she says can get as close as possible because she is craving it too.
Oh, in South Africa?
She's stuck in South Africa as well.
She's stuck?
Stuck in terms of she can't just go down to a Taco Bell and get Baja Blast. We get desperate down there. I had it once in 2020, changed my life. I thought about it every day. I've been getting it so much. I've been ordering Taco Bell just for the Baja Blast.
I don't think it's that good. Goodness.
I like the...
Like Rocco Mamas in South Africa, I miss a lot. And
no,
I would put that...
Rocco Mamas, I miss the food.
Yeah.
Taco Bell, I miss the drink. The drink.
When we went out for Reece's birthday the other night, he had a Baja Blast.
I did.
Did it taste like a Baja Blast?
It did, but with vodka.
Hey.
Yeah.
You drink? Are you old enough to drink?
Maybe.
Are you getting carded more now that you don't have the beard?
Yeah.
Anyways, I held this box the entire time just
How
to
your
spite
arms
you.
feeling? Just
I'm
like-
fine.
okay,
Like
cool.
it's a nice, like I know how to hold a baby for hours. I'm good.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Anyways, hot news tomorrow.
Be there.
He'll eat you.
Just seen him do it.
Gobble you right up like you were a Baja Blast.
That's your only warning.